Yo guys, what is up? Max in Wonderlands video, and today we're going over Wonderlands' first ever patch. This is one of the biggest patches that we've ever seen for any Borderlands game ever. The devs told me that there's over 400 changes in this patch. So today I'm going to be breaking down some of the most major notes. I probably won't be able to read over everything. I will have the link to them in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get right into it. So to start us off, a change that everyone has been hoping for: lucky dice are now being tracked per profile instead of per character. Players will need to load and save their Fate Maker to apply the progression to their profile if created before this update. AKA, everyone gets lucky dice. You only need to collect all the lucky dice on one character and it'll be global for all of your characters. That is an amazing change. Next up, we can now rename our pets and character at the quick change stations. That was also a feature I was looking forward to. Chaos tiers can now go up to level 35. They're increasing the chaos level from 20 to 35. I will share some opinions on this at the end of the video, but we're going to get through all of this stuff first. Next up, primordial gear will now be starting to appear at chaos level 35. So you're going to be getting a lot more volatile gear working your way up to chaos tier 35, and then once you get 35, you can now have the small chance to get primordial gear, which is going to be crazy. Enemy waves in the Chaos Chamber's Endless Dungeon have been allowed to start sooner to give Fate Makers more targets at once. They're increasing the mob density in the Chaos Chambers. We'll see what the Chaos Chambers feel like. Now, hopefully this is a significant enough change to make the Chaos Chambers feel more exciting in their enemy density. Big change there. Next up, they're freaking nailing it. Every single one of these changes so far has been a banger. Next up, Moon Orb currency has been adjusted. Fate Makers were very quickly able to reroll enchantments to the point that the cost would be more than the maximum Moon Orbs they could hold. The grind for Moon Orbs was also slower than intended, as the best way to get them was to farm bosses in the Chaos Chamber. Moon Orbs that a Fate Maker can hold has been increased from 4,000 to 16,000. That is 4 times as many Moon Orbs. Single Moon Orb drops are now worth 20 instead of 10. Moon Orb stacks are worth 80 instead of 40. Due to these changes, Moon Orb stacks are now slightly less likely to drop versus single orbs. So they're increasing the cap of the Moon Orbs and also increasing the amount of Moon Orbs we're going to get. This should make enchant rerolling less of a pain, because now we're going to be able to reroll way more and also get more Moon Orbs. Next up, the final chest in the Chaos Chamber's Endless Dungeon will now drop 14 Moon Orb stacks. And once again, Moon Orb stacks are worth 80 each. I'm not going to do the math off my head right now, but keep moving. Next up, reroll cost now counts for the rarity of the gear, with legendaries being more expensive to reroll. So legendaries are going to cost more to reroll, and the cost to reroll will stop increasing after 4,000 Moon Orbs. They actually did it. They set a reroll cost stop, or a cap, meaning that even if you roll something to its max, you can keep re-rolling it, and that's 4,000. And once again, the cap for all of our Moon Orbs is 16,000, so you'll be able to roll it multiple times when you have cap. That's a really good change, man. These are all like everything that we've been asking for. Seriously, knocking out of the park. Good job, Gearbox. Next up, we've got like a ton of bug fixes and reported concerns. Now, I'm not going to read through all of these, but some to highlight is they did fix some things for UI. There's a ton of UI fixes in here. There's a bunch of co-op / split screen fixes and like multiplayer fixes, icon bugs, like all of that kind of stuff. They've all addressed, like the UI not showing up, the menu bugs. So many things. There are some changes here, or reporting concerns, that are actually insane changes that you may not realize, such as Spore Warden's Blizzard action skill and Graveborn's Dire Sacrifice action skill would be unable to deal critical hits. I actually put out a Dire Sacrifice build video literally yesterday, and I was like, hey, Dire Sacrifice is cracked, but it can't crit, so don't expect crit damage. Dire Sacrifice can now crit, and this thing was one-shotting mobs in Chaos Chambers, like elite mobs. So Dire Sacrifice can now crit. So Dire Sacrifice and Blizzard both just received big buffs by being able to crit. Next up, they fixed Spell Shot's Double Knot, which was apparently not dealing the correct amount of damage. The Miasmatic Enchantment for the Stabomancer was not dealing the proper amount of damage per Nova. That was fixed. The Bread Slicer was apparently had too many particle effects, so they're slowing down its fire rate but increasing its DPS. They fixed the Mistrial of the Ghoul with the amp effects carrying to other weapons. They fixed the Buffmeister working in the Spell Shot's secondary like in the right spell. So the Buffmeister will no longer be the Bugmeister. It will now work properly and not like carry over the damage from your other spell equipped when you're using the Buffmeister. So that is huge, amazing change there. Next up, they fixed the throwable hold not getting its proper damage increase with singularities. And they fixed the action skill active enchants persisting even after action skill active was over. So if you remember, like for example, I used like action skill active frost damage on a barrage build because it would last for 60 seconds. That is now fixed. So those like action skill spam builds will definitely be feeling a little bit of a nerf because those mods will no longer work. So we're gonna have to rework those setups. This is a great note. Puddles of water were becoming too spicy when being shot by an elemental weapon with the relevant modifier. So they've nerfed the spicy water. You should not be getting one shot, hopefully, by elemental and water effects in the Chaos Chambers and around the world. Next up, we've got some class adjustments. The Berserker's Dreadwind got buffed. It's going to be getting a 28% damage increase. This was actually one of the stronger action skills in the game. So Dreadwind stonks, seriously. Dreadwind's going to be even crazier, dealing even more damage. And Clawbringer got buffs, baby. They buffed the Clawbringer. So the Clawbringer is getting increased the damage radius of Cleansing Flame's melee damage. So that is the Clawbringer's first action skill. Removed the cooldown on the Storm Smite skill. That's cool. Storm Smite is the capstone for Clawbringer, and it no longer has cooldown at all. Meaning you can make like a barrage Storm Smite spam build where you just constantly spam down damage. That is so good. That is really so good. Increase the Storm Smite's damage as it scales with higher levels by 50%. So Storm Smite no longer has a cooldown and got a 50% damage increase. Improved targeting for Storm Smite. That was really good. And removed the delay between the puddle and the puddle and the lightning bolt spawning. Wow. Dude, Clawbringer stonks. Seriously, they're buffing Storm Smite by so much. No cooldown, 50% more damage, improved targeting, and fixing the delay between the puddles that spawn from the lightning bolts. That is crazy. I will definitely be making a Clawbringer build with that. And lastly, we have the new Chaos Chamber featured run and the weekly event. Now, the mini event that's going to be happening is called Cosmetic Collectors and increases the chance for cosmetics to drop from bosses, especially head and face gear and armor colors. Don't worry, these drops have no impact on drop rate for other gear. So if you're looking for specific cosmetics, now is a really good chance to try to go get all of the cosmetics, which is awesome because it's also happening during our new DLC, and that DLC will also be increasing cosmetic drops, or we'll have new cosmetic drops. And then the featured run is a new featured run. This run is going to be featuring Lance and the Frost King, which will also should be having their dedicated drops and their increased chance for their dedicated drops. And yeah, guys, oh, there's one more change. Ice Spike spell has been adjusted to deal damage to individual targets per cast, but now shouldn't stop other Ice Spikes from doing damage. So they fixed Ice Spike back to where it was, but now it should probably be actually doing damage. So Ice Spike was dealing damage twice to enemies, and it should have been only doing once. That is a fixed Ice Spike, but it will result in a nerf to the spell. I do think that it's still going to be a top tier spell, but if you're looking for like new best spells after this Ice Spike change, I strongly recommend the triple Ice Spike. Triple Ice Spike is really, really good. And yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Overall, amazing changes. So many good changes. I can't believe they actually got to all of the things that we were asking for in this first patch. Moon Orb changes, mob density, reroll cost, Moon Orb things, Clawbringer buffs, fixes to the Buffmeister. So many good things. I will say, just on the whole, like, Chaos Tier 35, I'm excited to get to Chaos Tier 35. I do think it's a little soon to be increasing the Chaos Tier, just because I don't think that as many people have reached Chaos 20 in the first place. However, I do think that the timing of it is good in that it is before the DLC. If they gave us this DLC and all this new gear right before, right before they increase the Chaos level, then we're going to be farming the DLC for a month, and then all of a sudden Chaos Tier increases, and then you got to refarm all that gear. So the fact that they're putting the Chaos Tier increase before the DLC means that you won't have to like refarm gear from the DLC, for example, and that gear will probably last quite a while. So just letting y'all know my opinions on that Chaos Tier 35. I'm excited to go get some Primordial gear, check out this DLC, and all the changes to Wonderlands. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will catch you on the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.